Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to this channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the readings. So I look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. Why? Because again, a lot of times we don't understand why our person does what they do. We don't understand why the universe brings us people that trigger us, that have bad morals, bad values, or don't have any values. We don't understand that. So because again, we just know that the universe brings us people and situations that are in alignment with our energy, which understand if you need something, the universe will always conspire to bring you what you need. So when, say, you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life, subconsciously, it's those traumas that you don't even think about that happened so long ago that again you don't remember every single aspect of that experience. It's actually fragmented and you've detached and disassociated from it, that you're unconscious to it. However, the energy of that experience is imprinted on your subconscious mind. So that is the energy that determines how high you actually vibrate. And when we say that you're how high you vibrate, well, we everything is energy and everything vibrates. So the lighter you are, the faster you will vibrate at. And so when you're more connected to the spiritual realm, you vibrate faster because you're lighter. So when a person has a lot of spiritual blocks, they're going to feel more tired and lethargic, have a hard time staying present, being um, more inclined to have addictions because again of feelings of heavy energy, negative energy makes us tired, makes us lethargic. And so we look for that dopamine and serotonin hit like through outside things instead of being able to acquire that energy on our own. And that energy is just the energy of love, like to be whole, to be really clean. We're talking spiritually clean, and that means not having a lot of psychological and emotional blockages. And those blockages are, again, perceptions that keep you stuck in a limited aspect of yourself, whether that's perceived as not having enough, not good enough, not worthy, any lower emotion that will produce sabotaging behavior, right? Because if we again have this heavy energy, it doesn't feel good. So we unconsciously look for things outside of ourselves to fill ourselves. So again, the universe's job is always to bring us energy that is going to help heal us, which means bring us back to our original state, to restore us to our original state of unconditional love, which means that we don't have perceptions that are, prejudiced. We're not prejudiced towards anyone, that we only know unconditional love. And because we are vibrating at such a high vibrational frequency, we're creating our ultimate life, our heaven on earth per se. And that's because we all have the gift of spirit inside of us, which allows us to have spiritual sovereignty, to be able to create, whatever it is that we want. So putting our energy towards the things that we want to grow. However, these blocks prevent us from that. So again, the universe will always bring us energies that are going to help. So that's why I like to look at the shadows, because once you integrate the spiritual lesson, you understand how to transmute that lesson. And that means you have to do something with the negative energy. Negative energy that isn't just gone because you learned. You've been holding on to that energy, and your body is your mind's faithful servant. So your cells are always listening to what your mind is saying. So in order for us to really be clear, conduit for spirit to work through, for the universe to work through, for us to have, again, that divine knowing, that claircognizance, which is, again, that psychic knowing and that clairsentience of feeling, where, again, that's attached to that claircognizance, to that's when you're really feeling like you're co-creating with God, with the universe. And because, again, you are always getting that divine knowledge as your path is unfolding. So when you are on the right, when you are a clear conduit. Otherwise, again, life looks really difficult. You can't access your intuition. People know when they're spiritually blocked. So when you heal your spiritual blocks, you're actually able to transcend the limitations of your mind. And so any experiences that you've gone through that have kept you in a place of victimization, well, now you have embodied a new consciousness. So you know what that new consciousness feels like. And that is the energy of actually that can transmute that negative energy, but you can't actually transmute the negative energy until you embody the new consciousness. And so I can only be the conduit for spirit to speak, to tell you what needs to be healed. However, the transmutation process is always up to you, and that's embodying the new consciousness, meaning that you're going to have to go through the negative experiences because the universe will continue to bring you the same types of experiences until you actually heal them. And healing them actually means seeing yourself differently, seeing a different outcome, but also seeing yourself differently. So that might mean confidently, not afraid, not being reactionary, seeing things through a space of unconditional love instead of, revenge, or again, keeping whatever that lower consciousness is for you. So it's all about, again, helping you to evolve back into a place of unconditional love, regardless of who betrayed you and what traumas you've acquired over time, because your body and mind are self-healing organisms. But I know that was a lot. I never know what spirit is going to open up the reading with, or why spirit opens up the reading the way that it does. I just let spirit do. So we'll see why spirit decided to channel all that information in. Maybe you're dealing with a karmic mate that continues to live certain spiritual lessons. Maybe you keep living the same type of spiritual lesson that is keeping you stuck in a place of feeling like you really can't have, whether that's finance, whether that's money, whether that's success, whether that's, again, a good relationship. I don't know. We're going to see again. Now, if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing, okay? And that includes you sometimes. Look at this, detachment. So that's fragmented. That, again, someone has gone through experience that they haven't healed fully. So because when we are detached from something, there's no feeling. So we can't be cut off from our feelings, because our feelings give us more information. Your emotions are the gateway to your spiritual healing. So by understanding why you feel what you feel, but if you are detached, again, then you don't know what you feel. Now, I feel like you've gone through severe trauma where you are detached, but I also believe that you are connected to somebody that also is detached. Now, we have right-brained people and we have left-brained people. Right-brained people are very intuitive and sensitive, and left-brained people are very logical and analytical and strategizing. So the approaches to life and healing and everything, relationships, is going to be completely different, right? Because one person's always coming from the heart and the emotions, and the other person's always coming from the logical and analytical perspective. So detachment, when you have a highly sensitive person or just a person that's intuitive, usually intuitives are highly sensitive, they're approaching everything with emotion. So I feel like the person that like you're connected to, that's connected to you, didn't give you anything emotionally at all. They have a very hard time expressing their feelings and their emotions, being vulnerable. Now, I know you might be like, well, I see that they flirt and talk to other people. Yes, if there's no feeling, no real true feeling, then there's no threat. So without a threat, yeah, this person can be like, hey, yeah, hi, girl. Or like, hey, hun, how you doing? Hey, baby. They can feel really comfortable because there's no feeling, there's no risk. However, when there's real feeling and real emotion, the person becomes overstimulated and they don't really know what to do. So they don't do anything. This person acts like they don't care. That's again the left brain, logical, analytical. I'm not going to be vulnerable. And so I feel like for you, again, what you saw is that, well, this person didn't give me anything. And I feel like it actually pushed you into a place of remembering your original detachment or when and that like or when that it happened. And that's like when you were brought up, it happened in your childhood, and so it brought you back to that time because again you weren't getting the love and the nurturing and the support that you need. So that's the reoccurring karmic pattern. Like, I never get people that show up for me. I always show up for them, but they never show up for me. They're again void. So let's look and see, go a little bit deeper to see what the underlying energy is. But I feel like your mirror of whom what comes into your life, your detachment doesn't look the same. Your detachment is that you're needy and you tend to go for unavailable people. People that are emotionally unavailable. They can't show up for you for one reason or the other. Most of the time they have a lot of trauma that they haven't healed from, and the person that you always wind up with is someone that has a lot of trauma, that hasn't looked at their trauma, that doesn't know how to heal trauma. So they're stuck in anger and they're stuck in resentful and they're stuck in these lower energies and they're not comfortable in being vulnerable, and they have a hard time being compassionate, and they have a hard time, again, they're more, again, logical, analytical facts. We see polar opposites. So then they say opposites attract. Well, again, usually they do, but anxiety and worry. I feel like in the beginning, when you were connected to this person like would literally try and make you like have anxiety because they didn't let you get comfortable. And now I feel like you got to a place where you've detached completely from them. See, this was a soulmate connection. So this person always felt like you were around, even if you weren't physically around. ESP through the heart and mind, past life connection. So again, we know that that cord doesn't get cut for lifetime. So if it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, doesn't matter. The cord is never really broken. As long as there's unconditional love, and there always is unconditional love. It's just that over time, when people don't show up, it gets corroded, and then it gets corroded with resentment and gets corroded with again these lower energies. So I feel like this person isn't used of people like walking away, but because of your trauma, you're detached also. So it's almost like you guys mirror each other, even though you both are opposite type energies and there is this unconditional love. This person almost feels like they met their match because they feel you're not affected. And I feel like you're not, because you know how to go get to that space of detached as a survival mechanism. Well, only this person has lived that way forever. So they're actually seeing what it feels like to deal with their own energy, and they're not liking it, is what I feel like. It's like creating a lot of anxiety and worry within inside of them now, where I feel like this person thinks that you're in disgust. And I feel like there's part of you that is, because every chance this person had to fix it, they didn't. But there's a part of this person that's disgusted with their own sensitivity and their life and how their life manifests. And when I say sensitivity, it's like this person is overly sensitive about their own emotions to the point that it overstimulates them. It's like they have a heavy emotion about you, whether that's a love or whether that's anger, like whatever their emotion is towards you, I feel like is amplified. Like this person gets angry, they might get angry normally with people as a normal reaction. With you, they want to rip your head off. It's like you almost feel like there's all this, and it's because there's a lot of passion, but this person doesn't know how to express themselves. And I feel like after a while, what happens is that this person really does get disgusted with themselves and assumes that you're getting disgusted with them. And I feel like for a while you did because you felt like you purposely do what you do. So that's why this person is like right now is like, I doubt quite highly that you're even going to be with me, that you would even give me a second chance, that you even like me anymore. So what we're feeling is again that detachment, which when we person goes into that place, is because a lot of times of abandonment. So your person is like whatever they did, they feel as if, well, you're not going to stick around anyway. You wouldn't. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't really believe that they can be loved, and so this is how it plays out. And obviously, if they stay in a place of detachment, well, it can't grow because emotionally, they're not giving, they're not showing up, they're not showing up for themselves. A person like this, as I said, is going to be the avoidance, attachment style, where you're going to be that needy one that's anxious anxiety attachment because the person is not emotionally capable of, giving to you. So you're recreating that trauma that you grew up with. And so what the person does is that they withdraw and it triggers you. So when it means withdraw, it's again emotionally. And so, like I said, this person doesn't know how to deal with their own strong emotions. So they don't really want to be around you with it. It's almost like if they show that they care too much, if they show they have too much feelings, it's again, it goes against what they were taught. And I feel like for you also, you're like, yeah, but it's all one-sided because they want what they want and they don't really want to give what's going to make you feel comfortable. So your boundaries continually get crossed over and disrespected because this person, like again, you can't be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't give emotionally. It's impossible, that they're always in a place of detachment. And that means they're living more from their addictions. They're living again to get that serotonin hit, to get that, it's always the thrill. You're going to see a lot of reckless behavior because again, it's that dopamine hit. It's either going to be drugs, alcohol, people, again, relationships, reckless behavior, which is all sabotaging behaviorism over time. It's things that take us away from who we are. It's so that the person can stay in a detached state. And so here it is, you're continually creating boundaries, and this person is continually not really paying attention to it. Because again, it's about dominance after. And then it's like this person has assumptions, like they just assume that you're going to act a certain way and be a certain way, where they're not treating you actually as a person. They just assume that it's okay that they come in and out of your life. It's okay that they might not talk to you for like 2 to 3 weeks at a time, that it's okay that, that they want a physical connection and don't give you anything emotionally, that they don't show up. It's like, and it's not. It's like what happens is that you turn around and you say stuff to this person and then they get triggered because then they feel like you're trying to control the connection, where it's like you have a right to have, boundaries. And because your boundaries are what teaches a person what's okay and what's not, this person wants to live like with illusions to the point that you don't know what's real or what's not after a while. And it's because this person isn't living from their true self, their higher self. What they're doing is whenever we have detachment, that means there's a piece of ourselves that we don't know who we are, right? It's a shadow. A shadow is, I don't know, that aspect of me is not developed. How does it come out? Comes out as like poor relationships, poor relationships, or it may come up as a lack in finances, or it may come up as poor health. It comes up as like a physical, something in the physical realm that's imbalanced, that's causing you to stay in a lower vibration. And that means emotionally, you're not as happy. It's affecting you psychologically, emotionally. And so your vibration is lower, right? So again, it goes back to how everything is energy, like on a, on the most like basic spiritual things. So like I said, this person just creates a lot of illusions, and they don't really want to they don't want an equal relationship. They want to dominate the relationship. That's what this person does. And what happens is like you feel like this person has a hard time letting go of their past. They haven't healed from the past. So everything keeps playing out. And for you too, you have a hard time of letting go of the past too, because there was aspects of your previous relationships that you haven't learned from. And that's because, like they said, you attracted this person that has detachment because you have detachment. But it plays out as like different behaviorism, which because of the attachment style. So you continue to relive the karmic theme of believing that you're not loved. And after a while, what happened is you had enough because you're like, I feel like this is abuse because what you're doing is you're undervaluing me. And then when I can't even talk to you otherwise, then you make it like I'm the bad guy because you're saying that I'm accusing you of being the bad guy, where this is just again is always comes back to abandonment issues, that you don't show up to even have a conversation about the connection. It's like you want the connection, but you want it again on your terms, which is in and out of your life, no commitment, two sets of rules. And again, like always intense, always keeping you in a place of confusion. It's like they come in like a whirlwind, all passionate and oh, attraction and oh, so fast. And again, there's always drama. And it's because this person is always like has their own crisis problems. So it's about, oh, look at me. You have to, again, oh, I haven't been in your life. But part of it is because they know not being in your life uh, consistently, they know that it bothers you. So when they come in, they always have an excuse like, oh, I haven't been around because I was taking care of work. I just got let go of my job, or I just got moved out, or like they're always in some kind of crisis. There's always something. So it's again, don't look at the relationship. Don't look at how I treat you in the relationship. Look at what I'm going through. But I'm going to come in and give you all this passion. And then I'm going to come in real fast and then leave real fast, where it's like what you feel like is, well, most of the time I'm by myself. It's like, and you feel like this person needs to be on a single path. They need to be go into solitude to feel like what it is that they want. They need healing, because what this is almost like it's almost like this person, I just feel like, they have clouded vision of it due to like all their past relationships. There's a part of this person that doesn't really know what they want. And it's because people come in and out of their life all the time, and they don't build the emotional connection. So it's almost like, do I want to come in and really like again, like have like go through it? It takes a lot of energy to be in a relationship that's full of drama, even though this person's the person that creates the drama. Again, coming fast, and it's all like, again, sweep you off your feet. And we're hoping that you have clouded vision. But this reason why this person does that is because their perceptions about relationships are distorted. They don't see the red flags in the relationship because, again, they're looking at a person as if they're not that smart, looking at, not really even looking at the person to see what that person wants, looking more again to strategize, to see again how they can kind of have their cake and eat it too. And that doesn't even mean that there's someone on the wing. It just means this person likes to be a loner. They like to be alone. And so, and this person has like resentment from the past. Their roots are not strong. Their roots are actually fragile. And that just means when your foundation is fragile, it's like where you come from and what you were taught. And then you continue to relive those experiences within your relationship. And that, again, is living the same karmic theme. And that karmic theme is that this person doesn't really believe that they can have love. So again, they tend to be here for a good time, not a long time. So again, really, in order for like this connection to even like fix itself at this point, they would have to like, they'd have to heal it. They create a lot of resentment because no one wants to feel used. No one wants a one-sided relationship. They know that nobody would agree to this, but then how they came in, they promised you the moon, the stars, and the sun, again thrown in. They're detached, so they don't care what they promise. They don't have a feeling one way or the other. It's more or less, again, I'm going to focus on like what I want. It's like, again, and passion is ruling it. And I think that this person thinks that passion is love, even though passion is not love. It's love is something that lasts. Love is something that, it takes effort to acquire, you know. And this person, like I said, usually runs into a relationship where it's too intense, and it's all about like all this all-encompassing passion for a certain amount of time, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last. It's like, again, here for a good time, not a long time. So again, there's a part of this person that's like, I don't know if I can really have a long-term uh connection, one where I show up forever. And I know I can do it for short periods of time. I can come in for a good time, not a long time, but I don't know whether I can do it forever because, again, their experience is that they come in hot and it lasts for a certain amount of time and then it's dead. And then what happens is there's a lot of resentment, there's a lot of anger, so this person does not like commitment for that particular reason. It's like once there's a commitment, well, then this person isn't as attracted, and it's because they get into codependent relationships. Because anyone that can come in at 1,000 miles an hour and promise the sun, the stars, the moon thrown in, and is here for a good time, not a long time, they're giving so much attention, and then they're out. Like I said, they're in, they're out. But now you have an attachment. So again, the thing is, like I said, this person isn't used of you didn't have an attachment because you're like, well, I've been through that trauma also where people have abandoned me. So, I can stay in this space because I've had it happen to me before. And I feel like that's like what you did differently. Like normally you might have said something to the person that left, would have like maybe even started an argument, or which is what this person assumed that you would do. You didn't do that. You went into a place of detachment, which is not what this person wanted you to do at all. Again, hidden thorns. They need to look beyond the romance to discern true intentions. So it's again this person, which is what I feel like you're like that what stops you is you're like, yeah, I feel like the passion, but the hidden intentions really is about control and dominance because you don't want to be fair. This person doesn't want to be fair. Again, for all the reasons that I just said, they haven't healed. So that they're like, I don't really know what a relationship would look like. And they just know I tend to get bored. So again, and that's when the drama comes into play. And this person loves the drama too. So it's again where this you what you feel to be honest with at this point is that they have a different idea about what love and intimacy is again, and this is what I'm talking about it, and they do because they're not healed. So and they're detached where they have the avoidance style. So what it is that you're needing that emotional support is the mismatch, is again the different ideas of what intimacy is. This person thinks again, coming in and having a passion night is that is intimacy, that is growing it, where you're like, that's again part of a relationship, but that's not all of a relationship. And I don't want my relationship to be just that. And that's the problem. This person's like, I don't really know whether I can due to past connections. They're again paranoid. They're not in the moment. Again, if they're paranoid, they're already thinking about what might happen, what could happen, what did happen, all based on previous relationships. So not coming in, treating you the way that you deserve to be treated, which means that you would be paying for somebody else's karma. Like that this person was in a relationship previously with someone that emotionally didn't get what they needed and were angry. And so the relationship will always go south because the person feels that they've wasted time, that again, that they feel that the person abandons them. So again, this person that's connected to you has experienced this over and over and over again. So why should you be any different? But if they're not in the moment, they're not feeding the connection. They don't have a good enough self-esteem where they really believe that it can happen. And so again, they're not balanced. The relationship calls for balance, and they're not balanced because they're not coming from their true self, their higher self. They're still in that victimhood of what happened, what did happen. So they're bringing their baggage from the previous relationship into this relationship. So they're not moving. Again, they need their inner child healed. It's again, that's what I said, the way that they grew up, they were taught this. And so then they lived from this level of consciousness and then recreated. We give this person a very narrow mind where they expected you to conform. Otherwise, this person tends to conform. I feel like they conformed to what their environment wanted them to do in their childhood as well, and they lost their identity. And so there's always this fear that they're going to lose their identity, but they're not really creating a new identity. They're just running from the emotional connection. Again, they just are in balance. So they're looking through their this connection, their perceptions are imbalanced because they're distorted due to, again, the past experience. So again, what's amplified is the passion. What's amplified is the sex. It's again, and when you look at this is like dominate completely. Person has like a blindfold on, hands around the neck, it's like it's domination. It's again, we're not talking compassion, we're not talking soft, we're talking about again almost like a hardcore, like which is like where you can see that this person probably watches a lot of porn. Like there's this vibe of that because emotionally they don't get what they want and too much focus on the sex to the point that it burns out, it goes hot for a certain amount of time, then there's nothing. So they've had a connection to you, but you're going to require them to do A, B, and C for you again. And that's, you have boundaries and your just things that you would want in a relationship. So um this person would rather not have to do all of that, again, and wanted to hide behind what has happened to them in the past. But you're like, I'm not paying for, like, again, somebody else's karma or whatever you did to that person. And then that person retaliated and got angry with you because again, you went from hot and heavy to to absolutely nothing, to being disgusted with the person, to completely abandon them, and then you're angry again because of what that person did, but really you're just angry. That's again the detachment, is from the fact that no one can stay angry all the time. So if you grew up in a place where you were victimized, or you were in a relationship with someone, again, it made you walk from a level of consciousness that you were victimized, that you were, again, betrayed. Well, again, that anger, that resentment, I'm not going to ever let anyone get that close to me, is what this energy is. But underneath it all is anger, and that's a root chakra imbalance. Again, that fight, flight, freeze, and that's stuck in controlling the automatic nervous system, where after a while we feel really tired and lethargic and the energy is heavy. And so again, we need outside things to give us that serotonin hit to bring up our energy. So we can swear that this person is probably has a lot of addictions, again, and has a lot of other like imbalances. It wouldn't be uncommon. Like again, what I said earlier, like the risks, it's this this risks of addicted to taking unnecessary risks, like sleeping around with multiple people, drinking and driving, staying out all night and doing drugs, whatever it is. It's again like that risky behavior. And that's again, we say the sex is part of this same type of energy, that outside things that again raise this person's energy. So getting into a relationship with them, it would be like a karmic contract where you would be with a person that was always stuck in their habits and that had addictions, and it's just a past life karmic connection. So you would be bound to never really emotionally getting what you need, because again, the person who came in hot, but it burnt out real fast. It was too intense. And again, this person likes the whirlwind. That's what they like. So coming in for a good time, not a long time. And so that's how they try to deal with you. And even though there's this past life connection, this person's like, I don't know if I can do all that, like that consistency thing, which, I already pulled from that deck. So let's see. Let's see how they really feel about you. I hope you can move on and find love again. So this person's like, don't want to give you that emotional that you need, because I don't know how to do it. I don't feel comfortable, and that I like to be in this energy because I don't like that whole commitment. So it's again, they don't think that they uh that they can fix it, even though this person has never felt a connection like this ever before. They've never had this before. So and this person does feel like you will always be in their heart. Like, but this person where they are right now, they're not looking to change. They need to do a lot of healing. I don't know whether they even admit that they need to do a lot of healing. They like the lifestyle that they live, the reckless, again, which we see addictions, we see multiple people, we see. So again, unless you were going to dumb me down, this person's not going to do it. So you have to say, why would you attract this person into your life? What does spirit want to teach you? Because you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. And again, what is the medicine that you need with this type of energy? Because this is like really toxic. And we can see how. Well, first card out is belittled. Second card out is time and attention. These are your inner child cards again. And that's usually where we see that karmic theme originate from, right? That's like, so, in childhood, right? So spirit saying like protection, not feeling safe, um, vulnerability, not being able to be vulnerable. So again, that's usually when we first like experienced the karmic theme, embodied the energy anchor. And let's give it a good shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay, and we'll hold on. Self-sabotage. I'll put one more for good measure. Joy, joy, joy. Okay, 2, 4, 5, 6, lucky 7. And then we're gonna pull two more from a different deck. From this deck. God, there's cards everywhere. Like literally, cards are everywhere. I'm such a messy reader. Like, um, transformation, flow with grace. I'm gonna pull one more. Fierce strength. And we'll pull the last one after. Okay, so I'm feeling as if, being connected to someone that would like played so many games and was really in a low vibration, this person was slick. They never offered you anything. They came in and out. They always offered passion. Every time you wanted to talk about the connection, this person wouldn't allow you to do it. And so they were telling you without telling you. So giving this person energy obviously would be, again, self-sabotaging to you because no one wants to be in a relationship where it's a one-sided karmic contract. No one wants that. It's like no one wants to like be bound to like whatever the trauma was in childhood. And in your case, it was emotionally not getting someone not giving you the time and the attention. Again, time and attention is equivalent to emotional support. Again, where you didn't feel safe to do that, there was no support. And so vulnerability didn't happen. Because again, you were belittled. And it's because, like I said, growing up without really support doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't support, but the support that there was harsh. It was like, just do it. Do it, otherwise you're going to be sorry. Like, again, like berated, ridiculed, belittled, emotionally and psychologically torn down because, again, of the lack of support that whatever the parent wasn't receiving or they felt that they weren't receiving in their relationship and whatever trauma that they were brought up in. So again, it's like protection is really, you know, uh, psychologically, emotionally, when we're thinking our parents, yes, we're also thinking financially they're taking care of us. But believe it or not, if your parents loved you and showed you love and weren't projecting anger because again of their relationship, but there just was a lack of money, it would do less damage. It would do less damage because again, as long as the child is being supported emotionally and psychologically, being told doesn't matter, like just you can achieve anything in life, believe in yourself, in yourself. Like we've seen many people grow up in poverty that completely transcend what their families had, like those experiences that their families had lived, that they've broken that family karma. We see that. So again, protection, that there really wasn't that protection, there was no support. Because I feel like you were dealing with a parent that, was avoidant. And when they had to show up, they were a little bit angry about it. And again, because they emotionally weren't getting their needs met. And for some of you, the way that they got their needs met were through addictions and through, again, dealing with life the same way that this person dealt with life, which is avoidant. So again, then when you really needed somebody to show up for you, and this person didn't, your family or whoever was raising you couldn't even deal with their own emotions. So they couldn't deal with what you were going through. And that's exactly what you would be dealing with this person. They can't deal with their own feelings and emotions, and they can't show up for themselves, so they can't really show up for you. But what we see here is that this person always told you that. It's again, but what they would do is give you a lot of mixed messages. Again, because the attraction, the chemistry, that soul mate past life connection that feels very twin flamey. So again, but what is keeping you in a place of not feeling worthy, because belittled really is that. So even though this person might not have been belittling you, they were belittling your needs because they weren't giving you time and attention. And Spirit says it would have been self-sabotaging to you. So this was about you showing fierce strength and going with the flow, like of what life has given you, with grace, without resentment, without being angry, without feeling victimized, to be able to navigate through these difficulties with calm and acceptance. And that's the key: acceptance, to be at peace with yourself, regardless of what was happening in the environment. Again, you growing up in an environment like this. Remember, this person loves the drama. Growing up in an alcoholic family, drug addiction family, there's always drama. Spirit says the key is, again, to be at peace, have peace of mind. And again, you navigate your life with, ease, because you're in a place of acceptance, meaning this person you might have thought was supposed to be your twin flame or a really important connection, but all they were a karmic. And understand it does take fierce strength to walk away from that, to recognize it, that you don't need to raise your voice to be powerful. Your actions actually spoke volumes, because again, you handled this with grace, because this person didn't deserve grace. They deserve to be, told a thing or two with the games that they played. And they're not really sorry. They're like, I hope that you can meet somebody, because I'm not that's going to do right by you. Though I wasn't going to do right by you. But because you handled this with fierce grace, I feel like you're going to be rewarded. And I see that because of transformation. And that means, like, you are going through profound change. So you broke the karmic cycle. You broke the family cycle, which is why Spirit channeled all that stuff in the beginning of your reading. It was about you, like, again, transforming your spiritual blockages that you inherited from the environment that you grew up in, that was passed down through many, many generations. And that, but in order for you to do it, which, by the way, the karmic block that you integrated was self-sabotage, by not giving this person time and attention, by creating your own anchor for yourself, and by going through this. Again, this is the key: flowing with grace. Like, again, the difficulties that this person tried to put out there, and just going through them, it showed fierce strength, because it's like, and with dignity and with grace and with Spirit says, bravo, transformation. It's like, now you're ready to, again, raise your vibration. Now your vibration is raised because you integrated that spiritual lesson. And so does that mean a person of lower vibration will come into your life? Those people into everybody's life. However, you'll recognize them and you won't give them the time, because you're like looking at yourself differently. And when you do that, you're also then putting yourself into energies that are more in alignment with who you are today, not the wounds of your past, so that you can attract what's more in alignment with who you are today and the goals and the life that you want to create in the future, that the person actually has a common interest of, the same things that you do. They just don't assume like this person. They're gonna assume they haven't given time. It's like, no, where really again, here we see it again. Spirit says that what this again connection was, that you went through it again with grace, without again resistance, with acceptance, even though like again, that was a shitty thing that this person did. The universe says, we know that's why you're going to be rewarded. But it was all about elevation, to free yourself from the fear and trust the universe, to direct your thoughts to the beauty inside and around you, and to use your spiritual strengths and knowledge to create light and to rise above all doubt. Meaning you can trust yourself because spirit's inside of you. You did what was right. You had good discernment and you showed strength and you handled this person with grace. And spirit says, you're ready to evolve. This is how you again transmuted your blocks. This person again is all about the passion. It's again, and that's the problem. And so and that's a habit, that's a condition. They're addicted to that type of energy. So anything that would be normal is not going to feel right to this person. Healing doesn't feel good. And you don't want to be the first person that this person tries to live a balanced life. They're imbalanced. You know what I mean? They're not capable of giving you what you need. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.